Are out-of-state homebuyers ruining Florida? Let's see what the Floridians think. Hi everyone, Kim Devlin here with the Kim Devlin team at RE/MAX Leading Edge in sunny St. Augustine, Florida. Over 1,000 Florida homeowners were surveyed recently, and of the Floridians polled, 73% felt that too many people have moved in from out of state, which has resulted in higher prices and no inventory, therefore putting pressure on the housing market for the locals. Many Floridians are frustrated with the home buying competition from out-of-state buyers and feel they are getting priced out of the market. 51% of those polled are thinking of leaving the state entirely, while 67% are considering a move to a more affordable area within the state. However, the influx of out-of-state buyers has not changed how the majority of the polled Floridians feel about their state. 40% said it did change how they feel, with 60% saying it did not. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this, so drop a comment below and be sure to subscribe because I post videos every Monday. In any case, it's no surprise that out-of-staters want to move to the Sunshine State. The reasons are the weather, amenities, and taxes, but I clearly remember the state being the butt of many jokes through the years and even called Florida. It's funny how the tide has changed. Locally, I am seeing homes that were bought last year and listed 80% higher this year. So there's definitely some price gouging happening, but some out-of-staters are actually going for it because compared to where they are from, it's still more affordable. Either way, you can see why the locals might be upset about this. Another concern the locals have is what type of people are moving into the area. Well, I can only speak for the people that are calling me directly, and I can tell you this. My customers ask, how do the locals feel with all of us out-of-staters moving to the area? It's interesting that they actually care, don't you think? Now let's remember, we are one country, free to move from one state to the next, which is what is so wonderful about the good old USA. But people get a little protective of the areas that they have lived in for a long time and may not be comfortable with the change, and I respect that. St. Augustine and St. Johns County has seen a lot of growth and is the 10th fastest growing county in the US with a 40% increase in the last 10 years. So I can understand that the locals are a bit concerned. So let me tell you what I am seeing as someone meeting people moving to the area every day. One reason people are moving to Florida, and probably the number one reason, is politics. They are just tired of what's happening in their states and cities and just want to live their life as we all do. So my experience has been that no one is looking to change anything here in that aspect, but with this influx of people moving to the state, we are seeing a lot of development, and some would say overdevelopment. The locals are seeing what was once forest land cleared for new housing or commercial development, resulting in the area feeling overcrowded. Now, of course, with growth comes opportunity, which means more jobs. So is that a bad thing? Probably not, but growing in a responsible manner is something we would all like to see. So if you have concerns about this, call the people who control it, your city and county commissioners. While Florida has always been a transplant state and St. Augustine has always been a tourist stop, St. Augustine has maintained a large population of Florida natives with multiple generations raising their families here. So for those considering St. Johns or even Flagler County, please try to remember that. This is definitely not Miami or Fort Lauderdale. It's always been more locally minded and a small community. With that being said, it'll likely be a bit of an adjustment for you if you move to this area. It will feel more laid back than where you came from, and that's really cool for you. But just know that the locals may not be seeing it the same way, with an increase in traffic and unfamiliar faces. Even I used to see the same faces around town all the time, but that's not the case anymore. The locals are seeing their small town fade away, so if you are moving here from out of state, do the southerly thing, say hello, give a wave, be courteous on the roads, and leave that in a rush where you came from mindset behind you. With people moving in from states like California and New York, where housing is very expensive, we are seeing homes selling here for well above asking and driving the home prices up. So is this a bad thing? Well, it depends. If you are local and own a home, these increases have given you more equity in your property. But, and there's always a but, what about the local home buyer or the renter? These home prices have affected things in a negative way for them. They have been priced out of the market and have seen rents go up too. Even property taxes will be affected by this. The dramatic increase in home prices will affect the tax assessments, which will then drive up property taxes. The good news is, if you are homesteaded, your property taxes won't increase more than 1.4%. So yes, of course, with any change there are positives and negatives and different perspectives. But as for the people moving here, I can only speak from my own experience, and what I can tell you is I am meeting some pretty cool people. And if any of them are watching this, I think they know who they are. So all I can say to the locals is to not be too quick to judge, because you could honestly be missing out on meeting your new best friend. We all want to live happily and enjoy the beauty that surrounds us, and how lucky are we to live in a place that affords us that opportunity every day. You can't stop change, and I've lived enough places to experience that, but all of those experiences and all of the people I've met along the way have always been a positive thing for me personally. So I can only hope the changes. I hope that helps to give a little perspective for both the locals and the people moving in. If you have moved here and are adjusting to your new life in St. Augustine, watch this video to get some tips to living like a local. And remember, you're in Florida now, so slow down and enjoy. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.